So we'll start one of the important problem for the LeetCode 134, which is actually gas station, which is nothing but a greedy problem. So the question is, right, there are actually n gas stations arranged in a circle where you are given two integer arrays. So one is gas, another is the cost. Gas means is the amount of gas at the station I, whereas cost defines the cost of a gas to go from station I to n plus 1 in a circular way. Now you start with an empty tank at station I, right, and you can travel around the circuit once returning the start station index. Otherwise we have to return -1. Now given this example, right, so the gas stations is defined as like the number of gas station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as defined here. Irrespective of each gas station, the cost is measured as 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. Now in this context, right, how to solve this problem? Now to solve this problem, we have to find the difference for the gas and the cost. Now there is one condition here where sum of the gas must be equal to the sum of the cost. Otherwise we cannot do, right, it is actually invalid. Now to do so, we take the difference of the gas station irrespective of the cost. So what is the difference here? 1 minus 3 is equal to -2. 2 minus 4, that is -2. 3 minus 5 is -2. 4 minus 1 is 3 here. And 5 minus 2 is 3. Now we get the difference here. Now each of the difference, whatever the values we are getting, we provide the index. So -2 is at index 0, like that -2 again here is at index 1, and similarly 2, 3, 4 till 4th index. Now as we get the difference here, now the question comes, right, from which index we have to start, right? Now for that, since it is -2, right, we cannot start again, it is -2, that means if I also 0, -2, right, so we cannot start from here. Now at third index, if you can see right here, right, here we can start, correct, because it is a positive. So we can start from third index here. So the value of the difference is 3. Now as we have to go or proceed in a circular manner, right, what is the next index? 4, right? So right now with the 4th index, what is the value we have to do? 3 plus 3, that means 6, right? So we get the total sum as a 6 here. Now as it mentioned, right, to go from station I to I plus 1 in a circular way. Now we have to go in a circular way. Now we got a final value 6 here. Now 6, what is the value here? -2. So 6 minus 2 is 4, correct? Now again for this value, right, -2, 4 minus 2 is 2, correct? And here again, like 2 minus 2 is 0, right? We get a value 0 here. So if it is 0, right, again we have to restart it again. So like that it goes. Now irrespective of this example, right, what is the output, right? So if you see, right, so from where we actually start and where it actually stops, right, we start at index 3, correct? So that means it is the output where we go in a circular fashion, and finally we actually reduced one circle, finish that. So what is, you start with an empty tank, we started with the empty tank at index 3 at I, if you can travel one circle. So if you see, right, we actually did a one circuit, right, complete, right, from here to here, right, till the start from the third index and stop at the second index, right. So the output is 3. Now if you see, if in the interview, right, the question is asked, what is the time complexity here? So if you see, it is very simple, right? It is O to the n complexity as the time, right? Space is obviously because irrespective of the space or the memory, we are not consuming so much, right? So that's why the space complexity is 1. Now we get the intuition behind the question, right? Now we'll do the coding for that. So to do the coding first of this gas station, we define a kind of function, right, called circuit, right. We pass two argument values, right, where it is defined as gas, whatever the examples I have provided, and the cost here, right. Now we pass irrespective of the function here as a gas and cost. Now first of all, what we have to check? First we have to check, as per the condition, whether the sum of the gas is greater than sum of the cost on it. If it is less than, so we have to return 1. That means the total gas is less than the total cost, and it's impossible to complete the circuit. Correct? Now then we have to initialize the total. What that total defines? It actually tracks the current fill balance while trying to find a valid start here. Correct? So that is the total we take as a initialization as 0. Now to find the results, right, we also initialize as 0, which actually defines to store the index of the potential start of the station, as we mentioned earlier. Now irrespective of the logic, we have to find the total number of gas stations, right. You can find with finding with the Python code length, right. So the number of index we can find out of that, right. And irrespective of the logic, we define the total difference, right, as a gas of I index minus cost of ith index. So this is nothing but we can add fuel from station gas, which is actually gas minus cost to total. Now there is another condition here, right. If the total is less than 0, what will happen, right? If that is the case, if total is negative, right, we can't reach the station, that is I plus 1 station from the current start, right. So we started with the third index. So that means if it is actually 0, right, we have to restart again, right? So that's why we put the total as a 0, right. So if you see, right, in this condition, we have to restart at the -2 index while completing one circuit, right. So that is the condition here. Now coming to that, if we are actually trying to get the next station as the new starting point, we have to add the results at I plus 1 as a result, and finally we can return the value as a result, which is nothing but return the starting index, which allows the completion of the circuit. That is, one circuit is complete. Now we can run the execution, right. So it is already run, right. If you see, right, we get the index output as 3. So that's all for that gas station LeetCode problem. So which is 134. I hope the video is clear to everyone. Thank you.